Microsoft and Alphabet are reporting their latest results, and we are joined by Dan Morgan, Senior VP and Portfolio Manager at Synovus Trust Company, to break it all down with us. Dan, it's always a pleasure to have you here on days like this when we get these results coming out furiously. But I just want to get your thoughts. Tech in general, we've gotten off to a fairly strong start for a lot of these stocks this year after a tough year last year. What do you think investors are in for from here?
Hi, Jacqueline. Yeah, it's, as we kind of head into this first quarter, I think the expectations, especially on the FANG stocks, now we're going to talk a little bit in a minute about Microsoft and Alphabet, is relatively low. So you've had this huge rally in the stock prices since the beginning of the year in anticipation that the Fed is going to slow down their increases in terms of rates and that they'll start to level off here and possibly lower rates into 2024, and that spells all good things for tech. So we may be a little bit ahead of ourselves right now, Jacqueline, meaning that I don't think we're going to see a lot of fundamental growth in terms of revenues and earnings and so forth on this upcoming cycle here that we're kind of kicking off today with Microsoft and Alphabet. Yeah,
we do have Microsoft's results coming across the wire here now. So let me get you a few of the points here, Dan. Third quarter revenue for Microsoft, we're seeing that come in at $52.8 billion. So that's above the estimate, which was $51 billion. When it comes to earnings per share, that's above as well, $2.45 versus $2.24. So two beats there. What do you think?
Looking good so far, Jacqueline. That's a good beat. Now, remember, coming into this quarter, the street was only looking for revenues to grow at about 3.5%. So the fact that they beat on the top line, that's going to mean that we're getting, better than expected in terms of sales growth. You have to bear in mind that it was just 4 or 5 quarters ago that Microsoft was growing in excess of 20%. So still a slowdown, but looks like a really strong beat in terms of EPS. I'm interested to see the key numbers, which is going to be commercial cloud and Azure, which is their data center business. The street's really going to want to know those numbers.
On the commercial cloud front, yeah, so I'm seeing a slight beat on cloud, so $28.5 billion. So the estimate had been $28.19 billion, so very slightly above.
Yeah, so commercial cloud is the fast growth portion of Microsoft's cloud business. They put together certain units to come up with that number. That would represent about a 20% growth rate year over year. So that's very strong. Now, there were a lot of worries that the more personal computing group was going to drop about 15% and that productivity would not be as strong. But the core cloud segment appears strong. I'm curious if Azure was able to grow over about 32%. That was what the estimates were.
Okay, yeah, they're lumped together here on the headline. So Azure and other cloud services revenue growth of 27% is the headline I'm seeing so far for that. I'm going to keep looking for whether they break out Azure just on its own, but that growth would be below what you were expecting.
Yeah, we have to remember that at the end of their last quarter, they basically guided for, they gave different gauges of what they were looking for, but it basically resulted in about a 31 to 32% growth rate in Azure. But it appears, Jacqueline, at least initially, based on that commercial cloud number, we have to bear in mind that Azure is encompassed in the commercial cloud calculation, that would probably mean that it was a pretty strong number. But again, sometimes, like you said, in the headlines, they don't break everything out, make it easy for us.
Yeah, no, it does end up being a bit tricky sometimes. I'm just checking to see if Alphabet is out yet as well. And we are seeing Alphabet out. Let me just take a look here. So you know what? Actually, let's just chat about Microsoft a little bit more while I wrap my head around that. But when you're looking at Microsoft, when it comes to the AI investment that we've seen Microsoft really focusing in on, how do you think that's going to fuel the company going forward?
Well, it's kind of interesting, Jacqueline, because everybody got excited about the Microsoft ChatGPT deal that occurred at kind of in the beginning of the year, around January, February, and everybody just started going crazy for AI. And it's just kind of funny because AI has really been around for a pretty long period of time. It's not just anything that's recent, but the perception on the street is that infusion, that That relationship that they have is really going to benefit Microsoft going forward. It gives them a leg ahead of, let's say, Alphabet Bard, which is their AI system, and then Meta's got their own, Apple's got their own entries in that space. But it looks like Microsoft's a little bit ahead, and Microsoft's stock has reacted since that deal. It's up about 20%. Compared to Alphabet that's been kind of going sideways. So the perception, Jacqueline, is that it's going to really help these companies, but the reality is it's really hard to determine how much it's going to drip down and actually increase profit growth, let's say in the next year or two. Probably not that much. So it's definitely a long-term possible catalyst down the road. But ever since that deal went through, the street has just gone crazy on AI. So that's a new trend.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, there's just been so much interest, from investors, also consumers playing around with all that stuff as well. It's definitely keeping people busy. Okay, let's talk about Alphabet here. I've got a few of the numbers here for you, and it looks like a beat. So on earnings per share, so profit, we've got $1.17 versus the estimate of $1.09. And then we have revenue coming in above as well, $69.7 billion. The estimate was $68.9. And now revenue, you look at this other measure too, ex-TAC, right?
Yeah, I think consensus was $56.9 billion on ex-TAC, yeah.
Okay, so above that, 58 was that one there. And let me just look for advertising. Google ad revenue coming in at 54.5. That's above the estimate of 53.7.
So, Jacqueline, this looks like another really strong quarter, and this is very encouraging because obviously Microsoft beat on the top and bottom line. Looks like they beat in regards to commercial cloud, so cloud looks good. And now we have Alphabet coming in, beating on revenues and earnings, and also coming in ahead of in terms of revenues for advertising. I think consensus was a little over $53 billion. That was about a flat quarter from a year ago, which, everyone was looking for. We've talked all the reasons why advertising spend rates have slowed down with the economy and all these other issues. But that's a really good number coming out of Alphabet. And kind of like I said in the beginning of our conversation, Jacqueline, the bar was pretty low coming into this quarter. So I was kind of optimistic that they'd be able to beat it. It looks like so far we got a beat on Microsoft and Alphabet. Yeah,
and on YouTube ad revenue, that's also just a slight beat. So $6.69 billion. The expectation was $6.65, so just very slightly there. And cloud revenue for Alphabet, that was essentially in line, 7.45 versus 7.46. A lot of numbers in there, but the important points that you've been keeping an eye on.
Yeah, Jacqueline, so the YouTube, have to bear in mind, that was a huge growth catalyst for them about 4 or 5 quarters ago, and then the last 2 quarters, it's gone negative growth. This quarter, they did beat consensus at $6.6 billion. That would be about roughly about a 3% drop from a year ago. That was one of the most encouraging units going forward that everybody's really excited about. But they've come out with a new leg, so to speak, which is YouTube Shorts, and that's been a little bit slow to monetize, and the margins have been a little bit lower than their core YouTube business. So we're seeing that good beat, but we have to bear in mind that it still represents kind of flat to negative growth, and we still are kind of waiting for things to turn around in terms of spending on the internet, in terms of ad revenues. Again, it still appears pretty muted.
How much pressure do you think Alphabet is feeling from, the likes of Bing? And perhaps that's not a thing that they would have been worrying about before, the past year or so with AI playing a role there.
Yeah, so I mean, their equivalent of product is called Bard. They had a investor conference back in February, right after the Microsoft ChatGPT announcement, and it just meant crickets, Jacqueline. Nobody was very excited about their offerings. They kind of went through all the things that they were doing and what they were coming up with, and the response back was the stock was down. So it seems like this race seems to be winning by Microsoft. But I think they'll rally up. We have to bear in mind, Jacqueline, that Alphabet has all these different projects that they work on. They have Waymo, they have driverless vehicles, they have GCP, and all these things they do. But the reality is they make all their money selling advertisements for their search engine. And so AI is kind of their next hope in terms of trying to generate some things. I think they're going to use it more internally in terms of doing intelligent searches, and unfortunately for you and I, putting the right banner ads up when we go and look for things and kind of knowing what you like and don't like.
Yeah.
That seems to be their focus, is more on what they're doing internally opposed to externally in terms of selling, let's say AI chips like an NVIDIA.
So Dan, we're watching both Microsoft and Alphabet in after hours, and they're higher, up about 4% or so for both. I'm just curious, how do you think this sort of sets the scene for the other tech stocks, or even more broadly than tech, when you have these two companies out of the gate here with beats?
Well, we have Amazon coming out on Thursday, Meta's tomorrow, and then we have Apple next Thursday. So I expect the report that we have today on Alphabet to bleed into Meta. To bear, Meta is up 80% year to date on a whole cost-cutting restructuring, and now you have Alphabet coming with better than expected YouTube revenues and also better than expected ad revenue. So that should bleed into that. So I think that this would be construed as a huge positive coming into kicking off this FANG reporting period. And I would expect Amazon also to report positively in regards to, you mentioned that GCP was pretty much in line for Alphabet, and that commercial cloud was a slight beat for Microsoft. That should bleed into the AWS number, which is their data center service, which is the #1 in terms of market share. So I expect these reports to add a positive catalyst coming into approaching these upcoming earnings reports later this week.